Nnamdi Kanu sought refuge abroad in 2017, did not jump bail, lawyer says. Welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. He further said that the judgment of Abia High Court by Justice Benson Anya on January 19, 2022 had exonerated the separatist leader. Well, finally they began to revisit this particular case. When I said they began to revisit it, I mean they're now talking about it. Because, you know, in so far, in the trial of, you know, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, they've always said he jumped bail. And I'm saying, how will somebody jump bail? How will somebody who his life is being threatened? For instance, you are in a community where your life is actually being threatened. Your life is being threatened. Won't you leave that environment for the time being? Even if you are, let's say, the king of that place, your life is threatened. And yes, people say you abandon your life. Won't you sought refuge somewhere? Especially when at the end of the day, people who are trying to pull you down or people who are trying to do whatever they want to do against you are actually in power. Will you say stay and stand? No. This man just had to flee. You're in an environment where, for instance, you keep staying there, you are going to be in danger. Or even you are going to be in danger of, if care is not taken, you are going to die. Are you not going to leave that location? Of course you will do. In fact, you will flee and leave your properties and whatever things you have. People will come and say, oh, you abandoned this place and you do this, but really, you know that you actually ran for your life. That flight or fight enzyme in our body, the adrenaline just made you just had to just get yourself out of that environment. And that was exactly what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. He jumped bail because somebody who was having a dialogue with, I don't know if it is state government or the federal government, all of a sudden, boom, he was attacked. His mother, his family was killed. Several people were killed, injured. His house, it was turned into a mess. And he wanted him to stay. Come on. That alone, so that they can stop using the word or phrase, he jumped bail. Let's find out more about this, the news in detail. Aloy Ejimako, Special Counsel to leader of the indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu, has said his clients did not evade bail in 2017. The legal practitioner affirmed that Kanu had to flee Nigeria to seek refuge outside the country when soldiers invaded his residence at Isiama Aforoku Ibeku, Abia State on September 10, 2017. He further said the judgment of Abia High Court by Justice Benya Anya on January 19, 2022 has exonerated the separatist leader. Ejimako disclosed this in a statement on Sunday. He said this press release is necessitated by the flurry of public commentaries on the 19 January 2022 judgment of the High Court of Abia State in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Most of the commentaries have bordered on examining the latent impacts the judgment may have beyond the monetary award and the apology. Of particular note is whether the judgment should directly or indirectly impact the persistent notion that Kanu had jumped bail in 2017, which was what granted the bench warrant that were used to justify his rendition. In summary, the answer is in the affirmative that his landmark judgment has created new legal opportunities for Nnamdi Kanu, especially as regards impeaching the bench warrant that grandfathered his extraordinary rendition. You'll recall that from late 2017, I had maintained a well-publicized stance that Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail and that he will, in due course of time, prove that it was the Nigerian government that compelled him to flee and seek refuge outside of Nigeria. This was the material issue before the court, and it prevailed. In particular, the court held that it is the view of this court that the army set out as pythons to mutilate the life of Nnamdi Kanu. The military invasion of his home at Aforoku Ibeku is so notorious that his court cannot turn a blind eye to it. He deserves an apology and compensation. Additionally, the court held that Kanu has, by credible evidence, proved to the Honorable Court that his fundamental rights to dignity of human person and personal liberty were wantonly or brazenly violated, and his fundamental right to life threatened by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In other words, the court impliedly held that Kanu never made a voluntary decision to flee Nigeria or to be absent from his trial. To this extent, this judgment had finally obliterated the vested and false notion that Nnamdi Kanu had jumped bail back in 2017. Accordingly, the bench warrant upon his rendition from Kenya was grounded has now become impeachable and liable to be vacated, thus paving the way for his previous bail to be reinstated. In June 2021, the IPOB leader was arrested in Kenya and extradited to Nigeria to face treason charges. He was subsequently arraigned and brought before Binta Nyako, a judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja, who asked him to be remanded at the DSS custody. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the court in response to his agitation for the Republic of Biafra. He was granted bail in April 2017 on health grounds, but skipped bail after disregarding some of the conditions given to him by the court. He was subsequently arraigned and brought before Binta Nyako, a judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja, who asked him to be remanded at the DSS custody. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the court in which he was subsequently arraigned and brought before Binta Nyako. He was granted bail in 2017 on health grounds but skipped bail after disregarding some of the conditions given to him by the court for his agitation for the Republic of Biafra. It is only an illiterate that fights a conventional war without being prepared in the 21st century. Nnamdi Kanu, with all his school, has failed to understand that you cannot expect to win a struggle like Martin Luther King while acting like Malcolm X. He behaved like Malcolm X and got the punishment of Michael X. Indeed, we are peaceful people who have always succeeded not by gragra, but by allowing things run their course for which we have always won, 100%. E.g., we go to a strange land, we win and become more successful than the owners of the land. We invest like others, we win more like others. We compete with others, we win and dominate, etc. But Nnamdi Kanu started the violent struggle which is strange to us, anti to our culture and not the will of God. It is only a foolish man that destroys his homeland and place of refuge before a fight. Tell me, when the enemy comes, where do you run to? Adolf Hitler had the same selfish mindset but was captured like a rat and died shamelessly. Food for thoughts for the Biafrans. Food for thought. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come, go next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.